Hello, everybody. This is Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and it is an honor for me to be here with Mr. Bill McDonald. Bill, first of all, thank you for being on the podcast today with me.
Oh, you're certainly welcome. My pleasure.
And the reason I have the pleasure of talking to Mr. McDonald, he is a local in the Winston-Salem, Greensboro area. And the reason I'm fortunate enough to talk to Mr. McDonald is we were having a conversation on Wednesday, June the 18th, outside the Tanger Center for Performing Arts, just as my daughter and I, 11-year-old Bella, and I were getting ready to go into the Ringo Starr concert. I noticed a man in a suit that had Ringo Starr, a Ringo Starr badge pinned to his suit. Yeah, Bill, you look like a guy from the Secret Service. When I first looked at you, I saw that that American flag pinned to your suit, and I saw it looked like a VIP badge for Ringo Starr, and I turned to you and asked you if you were going to meet Mr. Starr, and you told me, well, I actually drove him here. So can you explain how that is? Because it is your company that picks up the celebrities from the airport and brings them to the venue. Can you explain a little bit about what you do and how you had the pleasure of driving a Beatle to his concert?
Well, that's what a lot of the celebrities do. They have, of course, a management team, and they're in charge of their transportation needs. And we're fortunate enough, hopefully, because of our reputation and we get the job done, we're very professional. We get a lot of calls to help out, with these celebrities when they come to Greensboro, even Charlotte and Winston-Salem.
So was it particularly exciting for you to meet Mr. Starr, or Mr. Starkey, rather? Are you a Beatle fan?
Well, of course, I grew up with the Beatles. I was a little bit younger, but grew up with them back during the 60s. And yes, it was a pleasure to meet him. And of course, we keep it on a very professional basis. And
right,
we let them dictate the conversation.
Sure.
And like I said, I had a pleasure to have a few words with him, and very nice gentleman.
So, what were the few words, if you are at liberty to share them?
Well, not a whole lot, because their privacy is very key to why we're hired a lot to
right.
take care of the celebrities and all.
Right.
So there's not a whole lot I can share. I mean, you can ask me a question, and if I feel comfortable that I can give an answer to it, I will.
I understand. But what you're saying is that when you're riding along with these celebrities, they have a management team, and typically the manager or whomever is with them will speak on their behalf.
That is correct.
So you don't have a lot of interaction with the celebrity other than making sure they are safely transported. It would be my assumption that you transported Mr. Starr from the Greensboro Airport, which would be Piedmont International. Is that right?
That's correct.
To the venue, which is adjacent to the Greensboro Coliseum, the Tanger Center for Performing Arts, which is a beautiful 3,000 seat venue, which was sold out on that particular June night. Was surprised to see. I figured my daughter, being 11 years old, I figured she would be about the youngest person there, but I saw at least one young fella that had a Beatles shirt on that was younger than her. So it was interesting to see how Beatles music transcends the generations. There were a lot of people, I just turned 40, so I think of myself as young, but I forget that I'm not really that young anymore. And saw a lot of people there that was younger than I was. But it's interesting to see younger crowd interested in older music,
Oh,
which that was interesting to me. Um, in terms of new music, my daughter's very big into Taylor Swift and all these people that are popular now, but I haven't listened to modern pop music in terms of chronologically when it was released in about the last 30 years. All of my favorites are the older acts. Um, so, is that where does your particular music taste lie?
just pretty much any contemporary style music. But of course, I'm back into the old school rock and roll back in the '70s.
Oh.
I've got several playlists or channels that I listen to for that.
Well, am I correct that you do this business as a retiree?
That's correct. Yes.
So, what are you retired from?
I was in the furniture industry for 35 years.
Furniture industry. All right,
Yes. Yeah.
and of course in Virginia, and you're a little bit familiar with the area that I live in, which is Whiteville, Virginia,
That's correct.
which is about an hour and 45 minutes. What direction? I'm terrible with directions. What direction is Whiteville from Greensboro?
It would be probably a little bit more northwest.
So we are about an hour and 45 minutes northwest of you in
Yeah.
Whiteville. And you have passed through Whiteville. You told me you had just delivered someone to the very historic and very opulent Greenbrier Resort in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. And to get there from your neck of the woods, you had to pass through my neck of the woods.
Yeah, that is correct.
So,
Yes.
so you're familiar with Whiteville, and you made comment to our beautiful mountains. So, what's your impression when you pass through Whiteville?
Oh, it's God's country. I mean, it's I love any kind of trip I can get that takes you up through Virginia, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just beauty all through there.
Yes, there certainly is.
Well, no, I've never spent any time there. When I was in the furniture business, I did travel the state of Virginia,
Uh-huh.
and I stayed in some of the southwestern towns, but I never stayed in Whiteville.
Okay, so well, consider it an invitation then. If you ever are passing through Whiteville, we would love to have you stop and visit with us.
Well, I certainly will do that.
Um, as you said, it's a very small town, about 8,000 people, very Mayberry like. And being in the furniture business in Southwest Virginia, we have big furniture towns in Galax and Mount Airy and all the way to Greensboro, uh, where you are. So I'm sure you're familiar with Carroll County and that part of our state.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
um, so how did you become as a retiree? How did you fall into chauffeuring the stars, if you will?
When I moved back to Winston-Salem, I was helping a buddy out with his mattress shop that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner of the transportation company I work for now came in, and we just struck up a conversation, and it sounded like something I'd like to do, on a part-time basis. And once I started, I, ended up finding out, exactly how deep we went into the transportation end of it,
Mm-hmm.
and decided, hey, put me on, call me, I'm
Right.
ready every day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you are at liberty to say, and if you're not, we'll just move right on. What are there any stars that you have transported that have left you starstruck?
Not really, because every one of them that I certainly had conversation with were real genuine. and the ones that were just a pretty quick pick up and drop off or didn't really have any interaction with, there wasn't time to be starstruck. You
Right.
just had a job to do, get it done. So no, I can't really say so.
And how long have you been at this job?
Going on 12 years.
12 years. Okay. Okay. And so, in transporting Mr. Starr, you told me that once the show has started and everything is going as smoothly as it's supposed to go, as far as on your end of the job, you get to see the show. Did you get to see any of this show?
I did.
And what was your opinion of the show?
Oh, I thought it was great. I didn't really know what the all-star band was made up of until,
Right.
The show got going and started interacting, with another guy that interacted with that part of the group, and found out, what all was going on with all those all-star guys from all those different bands, So,
Right.
So
And you very quickly realize that each one of those gentlemen are legends in their own right.
exactly.
It was pretty clear, though, even to those guys, who the main man was. I mean, they were happy to be backing a Beatle, if you will, and.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr will turn 85 years old next month, and I don't have the energy he has right now. At the end of a almost 2 hour show, doing jumping jacks, and just an incredible amount of energy. It's easy to see how the Beatles became the biggest band in the world with the energy and creativity and musicianship that flows from them.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty amazing.
It really is, and it must be quite a gift to you to get to see, at least in part, these wonderful entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
I know that it was a big thrill for my daughter. She shed tears when Yellow Submarine started playing,
Yeah.
and shed tears again during during the final number, when they were doing John Lennon's "Give Peace a Chance" to close out the night. And it's when your 11-year-old daughter is shedding tears at seeing a Beatle, you feel like that you've done something right. I have to give more credit to my wife on that than myself. She is the Beatle fan from day one, and she was the one. We've been fortunate enough to see both Ringo twice with my daughter, and another time with my wife, and then I have seen Paul McCartney once with my wife, and once with my wife and daughter when he came to Winston-Salem to the big football arena, Truist Stadium.
Right.
But for me, my favorite of all time is another British rocker, and his name is Mr. Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So our first concert was to see Genesis when they came to Charlotte in November of 2021. I don't think Mr. Collins has ever come through Greensboro. Have you ever had the pleasure of
Well, no, and I can't say that I've ever really heard that he's played in this part. So
Right.
I may have, but I cannot think of any times right now.
Well, the last time it was Charlotte. Genesis actually played in Greensboro, but that was before I was born. That was in 1983 when they played the Coliseum, and then they had never played Charlotte before. This was their last tour because Phil was in ill health, and it was like bam, out of nowhere they were playing in Charlotte, and it was like the good Lord said, "This is a moment for you and your daughter and your wife." And it was an unforgettable evening, and that's what I want these experiences, because I don't have a lot of money, and we do have to save up to go to concerts like this. I want it to be a memory that you can't put a price tag on. And taking your daughter to see a Beatle, they're still going to be talking about the Beatles when my great grandchildren are born.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
that'll be something that she can tell her grandchildren that my dad took me to see two different Beatles. And the Stephen Tanger Center is a beautiful, intimate venue where there's not, everybody's very professional. As a disabled patron, you don't always get the best accommodations everywhere you go, if that's as politically correct as I can say that. And the people at the Tanger Center are always very, very kind and making sure that you are comfortable, that you can see the show, and making sure that there's plenty of space for you, and that means a great deal.
Yeah.
Now, she swears that he pointed to her, and how he could have seen her from the balcony where we were. We weren't in the balcony, but we were on the first level up. But she swears that he pointed to her 3 different times, and I'm not going to take that away from her. If she thinks he did, then he did, as far as I'm concerned.
That's exactly right.
That's he if she says he did, then he did. That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm
I was just going to say that's going to be a memory she's going to cherish for so long, for the rest of her life, of course. But yeah, it's going to be just with her really heavy here for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's it really is, and I'm very grateful that I've been blessed with that opportunity. Now I'm going to be returning to Greensboro in September. To see Patti LaBelle and Shaka Khan and Gladys Knight and Stephanie Mills. They're all going to be on one stage together at the Coliseum on the 19th of September. So I don't know if you're going to be lucky enough to transport them. But if you're on that job, I will be at that show in September. So I really appreciate you giving me this time, Bill. It was a pleasure to have met you. And
it was a pleasure meeting you and your daughter and your friend. It was nice, and glad y'all had a great time. That's the main thing. Gosh.
Absolutely. My wife is a performer also. She sings. She's doing a Tina Turner tribute for the local festival that we have here in Whitfield this week, and she'll be performing on Wednesday. But she has a chronic heart condition, so she has to space out when she travels and things like that. In addition to doing what she does and taking care of our daughter, she's the full-time caregiver for me, which is no small effort. So she kind of has to space out, the shows that she goes to. So my friend Jeremy he lives alone, and he's always up for entertainment. And I say, well, if you'll drive us down, I'll pay for the tickets.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
usually that's what we do. So I'm
Well, that's
grateful.
nice.
I'm grateful for Jeremy's help in that regard. And again, you have the distinction forevermore of being Ringo Starr's driver to Greensboro. So
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, maybe we'll get lucky when those ladies come to the Coliseum. Maybe we'll get one of them, and I'll certainly let you know.
yeah, do, and maybe we can chat again. I've enjoyed talking with you, and thank you for giving me this time.
Well, you're certainly welcome, and it's been my pleasure. And yeah, call me anytime.
I appreciate you. Blessings to you and your family.
Well, thank you, Zach. Y'all too.